Alright, this is another ancient wisdom video, and in this video I'm going to be creating these scrolls, and the stand is going to be different than this, but this is basically kind of what we're going to be going for. Now there's more to do here with this display case, but I just wanted to show you what we're going for. Alright, so I've got a reference image that you can download from a link in the description, and you'll get this. So I've just brought it in. I pressed S3 to scale it 3 times. And I just moved it back on the y-axis so it's out of the way. And yeah, we're going to do this. It's very simple to do, all right, but it's just another prop for the scene. So I'm going to do the scroll part first here, the round cylinder things. And so you guessed it, I'm going to bring in a cylinder, and I'm going to go with 22 vertices. That's fine. And I'm just going to grab this and pull it across and S to scale and see how close we can get to match this. Before I go any further, I'm going to add a mirror, and that's not quite on, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move my reference image a little bit. I'm going to take this and set the origin to the, in case I didn't do that, to the 3D cursor, and let's maybe bring that in a little bit, and that's good enough for what we're going to do. Okay, in wireframe I'm going to grab the top here and pull it up to around there, and box select the bottom and pull it down to about there. So we'll have those two things. Okay, select this top face and this bottom face, and I'm going to look in here, and I'm going to press go to 1. I'm going to press I to inset, and let's make sure I got it all selected. Let's do that again. Select those faces, and I'm going to press I, where's I to inset, pull that in, and let's get a circle. It doesn't matter the size exactly right now. So I got both of them selected. Control E, and bridge edge loops. So I've got that. All right, in edge selection, Shift Alt and click those edges. We're going to bevel these, this edge and this edge, and Control B and pull, and I want a total of 3 segments in there. Yeah, like that. I can shade smooth, and we have that part. Okay, to make the paper, what I'm going to do is just come back here. Let's just make this visible through the back here. There we go. Control 1 to look from the back. I'm going to select here, and I'm going to just select that edge right there, and Shift D to duplicate it. I'm going to pull it out, P to break it out, and there's a mirror on it. So I'm going to come to the mirror. I'm going to turn on clipping so that I can E to extrude, pull out, and it'll hit, and it'll stop there. I'll go back in object mode. I'm going to apply that, and I'm going to dissolve that edge. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it close. Now this is sort of a cheating way to do this, but hopefully from the angle we're going to see it, it's going to be okay. Now, whether or not to give this some thickness, I haven't decided yet. So I'm just going to leave it there like that, as if it's a piece of paper that's continued like that. All right, anyhow, if that made any sense at all. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's say we just move the 3D cursor. I'm going to click there. I'm going to click down near the bottom here, zoom in, and I'm going to click again so it's about the center of that thing there. All right, so we're going to make this piece, that would be the wooden piece there. All right, so I'm going to Shift A, mesh plane, go in edit mode, M, merge at center. So I'll have just one point, and I'm going to just, where to go? There it is. Okay, and I really don't need, yeah, what do I got? If I got 2, what do I have? 1. I think it's just 1. Okay, and look from the front, and yeah, okay, it's out in front, so I'm just going to move it out in front of this. Okay, I'm going to press E and G, E, and come up. It's a little hard to see, so it doesn't really matter. Just press E and G, or E and just pull. E and pull. Lay down a number of points. It will end up using a lot of points, you know, but I don't really care about that. So just just shape it the way you like. We're going to put on a subdivision after, and it should look just fine. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm going to press E and just pull with my mouse. E and pull and trace the outline. And it's fun to do, and it's kind of satisfying to trace the outline. It's really satisfying to put on the screw modifier and the subdivision and see how it turned out. It always looks really nice. So just trace this. It's moving in and it's moving out. I'm going to come up to here, around there, and I'm going to start doing this part. E and pull. And we'll just follow this curve around the bend. I'm not really worried about where I'm putting my points. I'm not trying to space them out equally or anything. Now, at this point, I'm just going to do one of these kind of straight ones there, and I'm going to come in straight. I'm just going to pull it over. And if you need to, you can just adjust and make this any way you want. Okay, from here, I'm just going to come straight up. And let's hide all this stuff and try to find our point again. There we are. And it actually goes under, so we can't see, so I'm just going to pull it up to there. All right, right to about there. And I'm going to come out straight, and then I'm going to start going around the bend again. Now, there are a few little notches that give this some interest, so I'll show you how to do those. When I come up to here, you can't see it very well. I'm just going to notch in, and then I'm going to notch out a little bit and come up. And if you can't see where it goes, just make it up. I'm going to come in straight. And what I might do for this is come in a little bit more than I have to and notch back out. And we'll get an interesting shape there. So come up to about there and come in. We can do another notch in if you want, and then back out, and then follow the profile again. Do like that. It's good enough. Come to about there, and then I'm going to come up and make this not a straight line, just kind of a curve. And if we want, we can notch in like that and come out and come up to here, and then I think I'll go straight up, and then we'll come to here and I'll go straight up, and to here and go straight up. I'll zoom out a little bit. One back in. Okay, let's, whoops, not there. Let's come over to, let's see, what did I do? Okay, I did that. Okay, come back to here. We'll do that. I just want to straighten that out a bit. Okay, and then let's go straight up for this part here, and then start going up around a curve here. I missed an area where you could notch, but that's okay. Just gonna pull these out a little bit. Okay, do I have an extra point there? I think I did. So I'm just clicking on the vertex and pressing G to move it, and it's really not going to matter too much. Let's notch in and notch out like that, and then come up around here. And we'll just keep following the profile of the curve to whatever extent we can. A couple of things here. How about we come up? Maybe I'll notch in and come back out and follow. That. I might notch in, come out, and up. You just get an interesting shape as you do this to whatever extent you want to. And we'll come out. How about we go notch in and come out? That one might be a little bit big. We'll grab that and come up around. Almost done here. Just pressing E and pulling. And then going back if I want and pressing G and just adjusting. We'll see how this looks with the subdivision. We may have to do a little bit of work. I'm going to come to here, and then I'm going to come in, and then I'm just going to come up. I don't have to close it or anything. Let's select it all and have a look at that. Looks like it might be interesting. All right, we're going to use the screw modifier now, and that is going to complete it. And we may need to come down here to normals and flip. Yeah, it looked like they were flipped. Okay, so I am pretty happy with that. We're going to fix it up in a bit. I'm not going to do anything with the screw modifier. So let's just apply that. What am I doing? Apply that. And then let's add control 1 on that. So Control 1, and it'll go a little bit wonky. We're going to drop an edge loop and pull it up. And for the moment, I'm going to hide that. And we'll come in and we'll add a couple more edge loops. So I'll pull this one in nice and tight. And I'll probably come up with a second one. We'll see if I need to or not. Where to go? It's way down there. Just to tighten that up. Let's do the same down here, and then we'll look around and see what else we need to do. I'm going to bring an edge loop in here and tighten that up. I'll consider a second one here, although it might be overkill. Okay, let's just start down here and see what's... we'll fix that up in a bit. This area here, it could... it's a little bit turned for some reason. I think based on where I had my 3D cursor, but I think I can still work with this. I could do that. I can bring in another edge in here to tighten that up. Yeah, it's turning around a little bit on me. That's okay. I might bring an edge up here and there just to create that kind of effect on the wood. That'll help with the edges. I think that's okay. Let's come up here now. And I think I could use an edge loop coming out to sharpen that. And keeping in mind this would be a piece of wood. All right. Yeah, I got a little bit of twisting in mine. I think, I'm not sure what I did. I think where I positioned my 3D cursor to use the spin tool. So that shouldn't make a difference. You see, we got some really interesting patterns here. And let's throw another edge loop in there, tighten that up. Maybe in here a little bit. I don't really want to mess with this too much. What if I put one in there just to accentuate that? We'll come up here. Oh, that's good. Maybe one here. And okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just press F to make a face and Control B. I'm going to bevel this back. And I'll probably need to throw one edge loop down there. And that's how that's going to end. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same. F. And I already have an edge loop here. I'm going to just pull that down so that I can grab this face and Control B and do that. And let's take this piece now and position it back in the hole. Center it up, and then if you want you can close this up a little bit more. It's going to be pretty dark because of the dirt I'm going to put in, but I may select all those faces and Control a couple of times, Control plus, and then Scale Shift Z, and we can pull it in a little tighter around. Doesn't have to be too tight. All right, let's select the what's going to be the paper as our center point and take that and mirror that as well. Let's set the origin to the 3D cursor so we have those. That's looking pretty good. And that's the main scroll stuff. And then there's going to be a stand that I'm going to put this on. All right, so to do the stand, I could probably use this piece of paper here to start it off. So I'm going to Shift D to duplicate that, pull that out. And let's make it sure it's its own thing, right? Yeah. And let's see. Now, what I want is I want this to be able to catch the bottom here. So I'm going to actually pull it in a little bit closer. I'm actually going to let's go into edit mode and let's give this a bit of thickness like that. It's flipped, so let's flip that. And then I just want to look at this. So basically, this is going to come down here, and I'm going to make it this pretty much where these handles are, and then I'm going to have a piece coming out to hold the actual scroll. As you can see, this piece here is going to fit under the scrolled paper part. So that's okay for that. And then I think I'll make this come up to about the top of the handles there as well. So there'll be a distinction between the paper and the stand itself. It's a question of how wide now I want this. So I think I'm going to, I don't want it as wide, I want it wider than the paper. I'm going to scale in the X. I'm going to do something like that. All right, so let's go ahead and bevel the stand part here. So grab those edges, Control B. And I've been using 3. I mean, I would love to use 5, but I'll try to tone it down to 3 for now. And just there. So we got that piece. And let's create the lip part here as well. And I could probably use one of these edges to start it off. Shift D to duplicate, pull it out. P to break it out. Let's take that and extrude up a little bit. So this piece is going to be sort of like right under there. So let's extrude that back. And I don't need it as wide as that. I'm going to scale in the X a little bit so it sort of catches underneath there. And it doesn't reach the edge of that. So let's say like that. Let's just focus on that and get rid of the back. Get rid of that back. We're going to flip it because I think it is facing the wrong way. And then let's bevel the edges. I'll grab those 2 and those 2 and bevel it with 3, and then the top and bevel that with 3 as well. And I'll bring everything back. And I just want to make sure, yeah, it is embedded in there, and I'm going to bring it out a little bit more so it looks a little bit more substantial. So bring it out to maybe about there, and Shift Alt and click that edge and just pull it back in. So that would prevent it from falling down. Just wondering if it's wide enough, if it should extend out past. I think we'll get the idea from this. I think it'll probably be okay. Now let's start. Let's see. That's going to be angled, and then there's going to be a flat piece. I could just use this. So let's do that. Let's Shift D to duplicate, pull that out, go into edit mode. Look from the side, and let's rotate X 90, actually minus. And yeah, and let's just pull that down for now. And we'll take this bottom face and delete it. That's the top one that's beveled. Okay, so we're just going to leave that there for the moment. So let's do this. Let's look from the side, and we're going to, I don't need this anymore. I'm going to grab everything here, and I'm just going to rotate this. And so you rotate this to any angle. I'm going to move it, position it the way I want it, where I think I want it. And we can move that again in a little bit. So now I want to create a piece that joins. And I'll just bring the 3D cursor there, and I'm going to start again. I'm going to use a cube, scale it down, and we'll go under to get rid of that bottom face. So X faces, we'll take this, oh, I'm going to pull that. Okay, take the whole thing, pull it down in, take this face, and let's look from the side. And I may need to do some adjustment. I think I won't want this a little bit more central, this whole thing. So like that kind of thing, and then this part will go in around the center. Around, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to bring that so it sort of touches there, like that. And I will now get rid of this top face, and I'll select that edge, look from the side, and I'll just pull that edge up like that. Okay, now it's time to bevel this. So grab these edges and Control B and put 3 on there. And I think I will take those 2 and join them together. And I will also join this piece in a moment after I'm happy. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Control J. And this piece to there, Control J. So that's going to be all like a wooden stand. And we've got our scrolls on there, and I may decide to lower that a bit. I don't know, you can always tweak it any way that you like. Let's just first of all check. Yeah, okay, that's good. Let's have a look at this. Let's take this whole thing and move it up on the axis so it's sort of resting on the x-axis, and have a look at this. All right, so I will be texturing this. I may make this stand a little smaller. I guess it's probably the same as this, or pretty close. So what I'll do is I'm going to select it in Control L. And although I don't like to scale when I have a bevel on it, I'm going to scale Shift Z. Just a little bit of a change so it's not exactly the same size. All right. So yeah, we will be texturing this in a while, so we'll have to UV unwrap it, and we'll get into that, and then I'll decide if I maybe want to give this a little bit of thickness. For now, that is our scroll, and that is going to go in the display case like that. So we may need to change the size and all, but essentially it's going to look like that, but with a wooden stand. Okay, and then we'll just decide if I'm going to put some English on here or some Hebrew or what exactly. I'll come to that later. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.